What's up?
We're back.
We're back, and
live.
we're talking figures, but this time first off, we got a lot to talk about in the figure world, but we have a special guest today. Finally, I feel like we've been trying to get you on the podcast for a long time. We got Noah, NoahNation,
Going on?
Iacona. Is that Iacona?
Yeah, that's probably
that's
probably the first person I've ever heard say it correct. Some people think it's Lacono because that capital I looks like a lowercase L on social media, but no, that is correct.
I didn't even think about that.
To Noah because he's like a Twitter, I guess, friend. You know, follow on Twitter.
Mm-hmm. I'm looking at the San Diego Comic-Con, like the announcements, and there's a Tony Storm figure, and it looks kind of weird in the preview.
There's like 2,000 figures got released.
This is only day 2 too. There's 2 more days to go.
So they're gonna announce more.
Yeah. Yesterday there was reveals yesterday, but those were like a lot of reveals that like already got revealed, and they were just showing updated pictures. Today was like the first day of new stuff, but apparently I think there's 2 more days worth of reveals. Because the Comic-Cons every year are pretty much the big release days for Mattel and WWE and stuff.
I feel like I've never seen this much stuff posted in one day.
Oh, yeah. Like WrestleMania weekend, I think they did this too, because it was supposed to be at Access. And then, every year at Comic-Con, there's usually some big display and setup, but obviously no con this year, so I guess they're just spreading it out between a few days. But that's the cool thing about Comic-Con is they'll reveal like the rest of the year, basically, of like worth of figures.
So obviously, because there's no Comic-Con, they had to release the exclusives specifically in the Funko world online. So let me tell you, let's talk about that for a second.
Yeah, let's get into that.
When I tried to get the Princess Unicorn Dwight from The Office Funko a couple weeks ago, that was a disaster, and it got stuck on the shipping method, and then here we are. And I thought that I had it down. I thought that I was good to go. I just did the 2 that I wanted, and I was already in line. And that's just the worst. It's just the worst.
It was quite the experience. Like I heard all that stuff going on with the Funko, because I guess they created a new website, so it's not the Funko shop anymore. It's just like Funko.com or whatever. So that's why all the Dwight crashes were happening 2 weeks ago. But everyone's like, all right, they probably fix it by a Comic-Con. They didn't fix it.
Nope. It was a disaster.
I was on there at 8 o'clock sharp. I had it on my phone, 2 browsers or whatever they're called on my laptop. Nothing. You could get. I got through eventually, but just like everyone else, shipping rates, you get froze there, and it was just it was a long night for the Funko community there.
It was upsetting.
You get anything good?
I didn't get anything on the Funko shop because the website crashed, and then 45 minutes later, after sitting on the site, everything was apparently sold out. But everything went up on like their shared exclusive sites today. So like Amazon, there was like a Sith Jet Trooper Star Wars pop. I was able to get that on Amazon. Box Lunch, there was some alien from Toy Story pop that my girlfriend wanted, so I got that for her. And then I'm waiting on. The only one left is a Stan Lee for like a cameo he made in like an Iron Man movie. That's exclusive to Target, but that's sold out online and hard to find in stores right now. But that's the last one I need. So I got 2 of the 3, just not on the Funko shop.
I'm on a mission to find not only that one, but also the Walmart Dwight Recyclops one. And I went to every single Walmart and Target in my area looking for those. And they didn't even have like a hint of any Comic-Con exclusive stuff when I was there.
I didn't see nothing. I went to one Target after work today. And I was there like a week ago, and they were wiped out of pretty much everything anyway, like just normal stuff. So I was like, they're not going to have any con stuff. But I went, and nothing. One of the worst WWE sections I ever saw at the same time. I think they had 2 AJ Styles basics, 1 Natalia Elite, and 1 other Elite.
The only thing I did see today,
it's a hard time in stores.
Was at Walmart. They had the Marty McFly Comic-Con exclusive. They had a whole a full cardboard thing of them, and it had the Comic-Con logo, and that was the only thing I saw, and I was like, you've got to be kidding me. Of all the things, and this is the only thing out of every single store. So I have a feeling that they either didn't get them in yet or they didn't put them out yet. I don't know what the deal is, but now I got to go back to the store to
Yeah, I don't
find them
know. I
tomorrow.
saw a couple people saying online because stuff like I've found stuff in stores before that they accidentally put out early, so they won't sell it to me because it's street dated for a certain time. I think you said you had that problem before when we
That's
talked on like
crazy.
Twitter, but I saw people saying they found stuff a few days ago and were having that same problem. And then even like today they were having that problem. Like just random people. I was like looking at tweets and people were having like tons of issues in stores today. I was just like, Jesus, this is just it's so cool when Funko puts out a bunch of stuff at once for the cons, but it's always such a nightmare to get everything. It's like the biggest headache.
What was the last figure that you purchased like recently when it comes to, I guess, WWE or like wrestling figures?
Wrestling, look, I gotta look behind me. I think the last I got two figures at once from a local store. I got the Christian, like from the last Elite series. I got the Christian Chase from that series, and the Thugonomics John Cena. He's dressed up in his like
Nice.
his Mania 35 Thugonomics Cena.
Thinking to get that Christian because I want to build a Ministry of Darkness, but I don't know if she had the white one or the black one.
I mean, they're both sick. Like, I only bought the black one because they had it. I was just going to buy the white one, but I was like, well, they have the Chase. I might as well. But, I don't know. They're both sick. They're definitely, like, I can't go wrong with either one.
Justin, you get anything in the past couple days?
Well, Comic-Con, all those drops that came today, and they announced the Fiend Collector's Edition from Ringside, and I bought that today. I pre-ordered that.
Yeah.
What do
I'm
you
waiting till
It's
after
the Firefly Funhouse.
Oh, that one.
yeah.
And him, and I don't know how it's gonna be, but like I saw that, I'm like, I ain't taking a chance on this. I'm just gonna get this now. I feel like the Fiend is either gonna be like, like Kane figures where they're like just they come out and they're gone forever and then they're worth so much, or they're gonna be like the new AJ Styles where they just sit on shelves. I feel like it's either one or the other. You know what I mean?
What's funny was AJ was flying off the shelves 4 years ago when they first started making figures, and now they've just made so many that it's just like, okay, now they're collecting dust. So many basics, like every other series, it's like there. It used to be like John Cena was in every other series. Now it's like AJ and like Finn Balor's in every other series. Like basic wise, it's just like Jesus.
It's like every Walmart I go to for the past little while, all I see is Rollins, AJ, and Balor. That's it.
Yeah. And
So
I'm just not a basic guy, so those aren't ones for me, unless it's like a rare one every now and then.
When I think between
you're selling a bunch of your figures, and I went to your Macari page and I was looking through your stuff, and I saw you sold the Undertaker Defining Moments for like $70, and I'm like, I would have gave you $100.
If I knew you were looking for it, I absolutely would have. I would have cut you the biggest deal on it. I just had them because like I used to just buy figures for the sake of like obviously like I'm collecting now, but just for the sake of like I know this is like rare for lack of a better word, so I just buy it. But like I really didn't even want it. So like I used to just do that with figures all the time. Now I just get stuff I want, but like I went through like old stuff that was just sitting around for a while and I just got rid of. Like I had an Ultimate Warrior 1-2, and like no disrespect to Ultimate Warrior or anything, but like I did not see any of his career. He is way before my time. I have no reason to own any of his figures. So like I got rid of that. But yeah, I just got rid of some of those old like Taker, and I had like a Sting too.
I was like, I screamed when I saw you listed it, I think for $80 and you sold it for $70, and I was like,
that was during the quarantine. But now that I'm back to work, I was like, I don't even feel like going to the post office to ship anything out, so I took everything down for now. Which most of my notable stuff sold. I just got like some random basics. Like there's probably like a Tyler Breeze basic from like 2015 sitting up there, or there was. I was like, I don't even feel like going to ship any of this right now. I'm taking a break.
So like I know you're in like the Funko game. I watched your Funko video with your shelves.
Yeah.
I think it's a never-ending cycle. What like tell me what your thoughts on Funko is.
It's funny. I was thinking about this the other day because like I watch a couple people on YouTube who I've like noticed like were collecting pops heavy, but slowly started collecting like other stuff more, and that like they don't make as many pop videos anymore. Like a lot of people are like those crazy like $200, $300 like sideshow collectible hot toys, like those statues and stuff. So I think I kind of put two and two together. Like I feel like pops are like the good thing for like people who never really collected anything to like start collecting because they're easy to buy. like obviously there's special ones and rare ones, this and that, but you can literally go into any store and they're gonna have pops. They make them for literally everything you could possibly, like any movie or show probably has a pop by now. If not, I'm sure it's on the way. Like I feel like pops, like obviously I'm heavy in the game, plenty of other people are too. I don't know if you guys have ever watched, there's a kid on YouTube, his name's Top Pops. He literally has a whole office that he rents out just for his Funko collection, which is absolutely huge. Like that, I think it's a good thing for like collectors, and it's also a good thing to collect for like people who really don't even collect stuff. They just like think it's like, oh, look at this Pikachu, it looks cute. I used to watch Pokemon when I was 5. I'm gonna buy it. Like I feel like that's the good middle ground collectible for like somebody who doesn't want to spend a bunch of money, but also like never collected anything. I don't know if that makes sense, you know?
I know. I just think like once you start, it's like you build wallpaper out of it.
Basically, like my one shelf is all together, and then my Star Wars shelf's kind of spread out. But like one shelf is literally like all my NBA ones are triple stacked on one. Then it's my WWE ones, and there's my Marvel. Like it's all like packed into one 5-story shelf. Like luckily, I was able to spread out my Star Wars one, so it looks less like a store with those. So like those look cool and set up. But like I only got so much room at the same time, so that's why I don't display some of my stuff. Because like there's some sick WWE ones that are just like buried 3 rows back. But it's like I don't really. What am I gonna do? I can't display all these. So I'll mix it up every now and then. And I think that's why it's so addicting, because they're easy to get. And that's why when you first start, it's just like, oh, there's this one, this one, this. Like I wasn't even gonna start collecting Star Wars ones when I first started collecting pops. But then I bought a couple because like the Solo movie had just come out, and now 2 years later, I have probably more than less of the Star Wars ones ever created. And there's still like plenty to get because there's like 400 Star Wars ones by now. But like I at least got a good half of them, and it's like, well, you go down the rabbit hole and then you never stop.
Do you think that they're going to be the next like Beanie Baby? Like in a couple of years, like the people who bought them just because they were worth something at one point are just going to be like, well, now these are worth nothing.
I think the only way that's going to happen is if Funko really messes up with some of the rare stuff. Like, for instance, like there's obviously, you guys probably know, there's 3 Rey Mysterio pops ever made that were made years ago. They're all worth, like, the cheapest one's worth like $200. But so, like, because those pops are worth so much money, I don't think they'll ever make another Rey Mysterio. But if they did, that might bring the value of those other 3 down. So then collectors who have those pops, like, you know what I mean? So, like, if they start putting out stuff that kind of hurts the value of old things. Like there's I forget who, I think it's like a Qui-Gon Jinn from Star Wars, or maybe it's not him, but it's like a holographic version worth thousands of dollars. Like if they start putting out stuff that's going to hurt the value of old stuff, like I feel, and then everything just becomes your normal price, like, or at least under $100 pops, I feel like some of the people who collect more expensive ones or grails or whatever, like will get out of it, and then slowly but surely it'll start falling apart. But as long as Funko doesn't do that and just also doesn't do lazy pops, which I mean they do that all the time, but as long as I feel like they don't step on the toes of their own customers and collectors, I don't know if that. I feel like as long as they don't do some of those things, that it should maintain, because they do a good job at expanding their horizons and keeping things fresh and like not repetitive, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, because like, I mean, like you said, they're just like easy for people to collect, and I think that it's the fact that they take like something so basic and it's just the same thing over and over again, but they take the personalities of each character and like throw them onto the thing.
Because not a lot of detail, like realistically, like I'm looking at a Ric Flair on my wall over there, and like realistically, it's just a white old dude with black, and obviously they're all black eyes. So it's like you really have to like do pops that like of people that have detail. That's why I hate some of the WWE ones, because like they'll pick people who really don't have much about them. Like there's a Lex Luger pop. I don't know if you guys have ever seen it. Got to be the worst Funko Pop of all time. Literally just looks like some. Like I threw a pair of trunks on and grew my hair out. Like it's horrible. Like that's why they need, like, the Fiend pop is sick, because there's something about the Fiend, like he looks cool. Like the Hulk Hogan ripping the shirt off that came out a few months ago. Like those pops are cool because there's something about those people. As long as they don't do pops that are like the most boring thing in the world, because like at the end of the day, at retail price when pops usually come out, they're $10-$20 depending on where you go. So like, you know, keep as long as they do things that are detailed, because they can only do so much detail. Because some of them are just atrocious, especially those older WWE ones.
Oh, dude, those are like, I mean, I think like when the head is not like the older ones when they're like not proportioned to the
Uh,
body, like where
old
like the body's a twig.
original pops are some of the. There's a Lando Calrissian Star Wars one. Like if you guys remember, like look up after this podcast what the first Lando pop looks like. It's it looks like Pedro from Napoleon Dynamite. It's one of the worst pops I've ever seen in my life. Like it's horrible.
I'm looking it
Like
up right now.
I'm just like, and like the new ones, the new Landos are great. Like from the past few years, but that original one probably worth a good chunk of money. Maybe I'm not sure, but it sucks.
Let's see. I'm trying to see if I could find it just to see like. I
I
think
don't know if this. Oh yeah, I see it now. This is bad. The
with the
new one looks
blue.
way better.
Yeah, that one looks. I don't even know. Maybe it's his mustache, but
What
It's
is that
just
hair?
yeah.
it just looks like he's got a comb over, and I don't. It's just those old pops. Like, luckily, Funko was already like a company and doing stuff before pops became a thing. But
Mm-hmm.
I guess they were just the new thing that they tried that actually stuck on. But yeah,
The
some
one,
of those OG pops horrible.
the one that I always think of for like really bad pops are like the Ned Stark like from Game of Thrones Funko Pops.
Yeah.
That one just looks like I don't even know. It looks weird. Like
Anything
just,
for, like I want to say they started making pops in like 2012. So anything I'd say for those first 2 years, 9 times out of 10 is not good. Like if you look at like a John Cena pop from like the first one compared to the latest one, obviously it's John Cena. There's still only so much you can do, but you can tell just the little details and stuff like that that just make
mm-hmm.
one pop 10 times better than the other. And it's just like I can't. It's hard to imagine how these caught on all those years ago because the original pops were just like, how are these a thing?
Yeah, because like I remember going to the store and seeing like a CM Punk or Rey Mysterio or Daniel Bryan or something like that. Like, do you remember when you like first saw it and you were
Yeah.
like, eh?
The only thing I remember, there's two pops or three pops that I remember seeing that I wasn't collecting at the time that I wish I did. One, which I don't think is probably that expensive, is like an Andre the Giant, like the first one. It might be expensive, I'm not sure, but I remember seeing that at Walmart before they even had a pop section. The pops were like by the cards in like
Mm-hmm.
2013. Like I remember seeing that, and then I remember seeing a Hot Topic, like the Hot Topic exclusive Daniel Bryan and CM Punk, but I just wasn't
Yeah.
collecting at the time. So it's just like, that's like everybody's pain now. If you're a wrestling fan, you're collecting pops, and you saw that at the time. I feel like so many people have that story because nobody was getting them at the time.
No, you're right.
I have
I
a
mean,
story that I've told a million times, but you probably never heard of it. Where I got that pop out of my birthday from some girl that just gave it to me. He's like, "Oh, here you go," and then months later, he leaves, and then like a year late, like 2 years later, I download Snapchat. I snap it to Mike. Mike's like, "You know how much that thing's worth?" I'm like, "How much?" He's like, "Go look," and it was like a couple $100. I'm like, "What?" This thing been sitting on my desk collecting dust for 2 years. And then in
uh,
2017, I go to his house and I'm like, "Here you go, have it. This is my one and only pop I've ever gotten in my life."
it's a rabbit hole, man. That's why it's like, yo, don't start unless you plan to keep going, or if you really just have good self control. Like you gotta have one or the other.
yeah, I definitely don't. I think the only original WWE pop that I have besides the Punk Hot Topic one that Justin gave me, I went to like a Half Price Books. I don't know if you know what Half Price Books is. Um,
Nah.
it's like it's just like a secondhand like movies and books and
Right.
collectibles store. Um, and so I was like, they had like a coupon for 50% off one item, and I was just walking around, and all of a sudden, like hidden behind like a book stand, was like the original Rock Funko Pop, and
Yeah.
I think it was like $20. And then I got a half off for $10. So I pretty much paid like original price for it. And I was like, this thing is probably, at the time it was probably like $50. I don't know what it is now, if it's lower or higher, but
Yeah,
um,
no, the only reason I have my like the Rey Mysterio pop that's worth the like I said earlier is what that's worth the least is like $200, and it's like that's like the basic version because there's like two other exclusive versions. The only
mhm.
reason I have the one I do is because I got it as a Christmas gift in like 2013, and I wasn't even collecting pops at the time, so that was my one and only pop for like 4 years. And I had like two other ones. Like I bought like a Sting and a Ric Flair because I like saw them at Target or something one time.
Mhm.
But I just randomly got that right. And I'm like, thank God I did because I never would have went back and bought the other ones because I'll look at the other ones that people post on like Macari or eBay sometimes and like I don't know which one's worth more, the 7-Eleven one or the San Diego Comic Con one from like 2014, but people are selling it for 400, 500, and I'm just like, I
That's
can't
nuts.
bring myself to do that as much as I love Ray and want the pop, I can't do it. And even those pops aren't even that good. Like all three of those Rey Mysterio ones, like they're cool. Like, they got cool colors because they're Rey, obviously, but they're really not that good at pops.
Do
Like,
you
you just
remember?
tell.
Do you like when you were a kid? Did you play with like figures and stuff?
Oh yeah, once I got into wrestling, which was probably like '05, up until probably the beginning of high school. To be perfectly honest, I didn't give a shit. Like, I went to Catholic school for my whole middle school with very small classes, so like I didn't really care to have any friends. So I was just like, screw you guys. I went home every day and played with my action figures up until like 8th grade.
That's what I'm talking about.
But
That's
yeah, I got lots of good memories. We could sit here all day and talk about playing with action figures.
like. Do you look back at some of those figures that you had? Like, do you still have your figures like from when you were
Yeah,
a kid?
pretty much all of them. I have probably 40 Rey Mysterios because, like, obviously favorite wrestler. So my parents would always, if they saw a new one, they'd buy it because they were just easy to tell because so many different colors, so you knew when they were new. But yeah, I think I got like 2 tubs. One of them's not all the way filled, I don't think. But they're just in my attic, and they're all the old Jack specific figures. For, like, anything from like, there's some random ones in there, but anything from probably '04, '05 up until like when Jack stopped making the figures. There's like 5 years worth of tons of figures in there of everyone from Batista to like Rene Dupree.
Rey Mysterio was always the hardest figure for me to find. Him and Jeff Hardy were the two that I would like look at every single
Yeah,
store.
my parents got a couple good stories of having to snag Ray and Jeff Hardy, both Hardy Boys, Ray and like Taker, like all those guys, like anybody who wasn't who had like a special look to him would always fly off the shelves. So they'd always have to. Remember, I'm pretty sure my mom like almost like jumped in front of somebody to snag a Jeff Hardy off somebody like before somebody else grabbed it for Christmas one year. I was like, Jesus Christ,
Damn.
these are nuts. Not
So,
to break the system
what's your
here,
WWE
but
collecting now besides like pops?
wait, what was it? My WWE collecting?
Yeah, besides pops.
Besides the pops, the only stuff I display, because like I got a bunch of loose figures like in my attic and stuff, but the only stuff I display is like newer stuff. So I got 2 DTOF cabinets. One of it's just my just Rey Mysterio stuff, some old stuff that I've rebought in box, and then just some like all is pretty much his Mattel figures besides like 4, elite wise. And then I got another one of just elites from the past mostly few years. Especially like newer ones, like, and I kind of divvy it off, like the top shelf's all legends and like ruthless aggression guys. The middle shelf's like kind of like an NXT shelf for just like the few that I get every now and then, because I don't get a lot of current guys. I just get like guys that remind me of when I like to watch wrestling every week with WWE wise. So like that's pretty much what I collect. Pop wise, I was being a completist with those for a while, but after like the last WWE set came out and there was like a Naomi that I didn't really want, and like a Kevin Nash I didn't really want, I was like, all right, I'm not buying every single one of these anymore. But that's pretty much WWE wise what I collect. Elites, very few basics unless they're a Ray or just a really cool basic, and yeah, the pops.
What do you think of these exclusives, dude? Because I'm like, I don't know how I want to get this Undertaker, because apparently it's Elite 79, but it's collector's edition.
Yeah, I was telling Mike before you got on, because like obviously I'm sure like there's a chase for every Elite series, but the chases are like pretty easy to find. Like you can get lucky a lot of times to find them, and if not, Ringside always has them, and they're not really worth anything. Like they're worth normally like a standard price, like, and they're always like just an alternate attire or something. But those collector's editions, which is what the Undertaker is, always a headache to find. I know the past 2 for like recent series have been like a Billy Kay and Peyton Royce, and people were having trouble for months hunting those down. So like, as much as I want this Undertaker, like, I don't know if I'm ever gonna own it.
This is the most annoying thing ever, you're saying.
Oh yeah, it's definitely not gonna be fun.
You're gonna have to trade some Hawkins and
So they
Ryder.
didn't have those Billy Kays and whatever, Peyton Royce on the ringside?
No, they don't. They might put like one up, like not saying like those 2 figures, but like a random collector's edition from the past like 2 years since they've been doing. They might have put them up like every now and then if like Ringside themselves randomly got one in. But like they'll put the chase versions up, but those collector's editions are usually, depending on where like what store the elites are at, like will be exclusive to Walmart or exclusive to Target, and it's just a luck of the draw, pretty much.
Gotcha.
Like I think they come like maybe 1 or 2 per case, which I don't know how many comes in a case, but like it's point is it's a headache. I don't think I own any of the collector's editions. One, because there's never been one that has interested me, because they're always either legends that are before my time, or in the case of Billy Kane, Peyton Royce, I just don't care to have them. So I never really had to try, but now I'm going to have to try, and it's not going to be fun.
Collector's
Lovely.
edition.
Now I gotta go hunt for this dumb Undertaker figure that's gonna be add to my shelf.
I don't know if you guys, I told Mike before he got on, but this guy Jeremy from Jazzwares is slowly but surely revealing pictures of an Orange Cassidy action figure on his Twitter account as we speak.
He just tweeted. Oh yeah, he is.
It's like he hasn't put a picture of the full figure out, but it's just like his legs, a hand, his glasses.
Let's see, what's the Twitter account?
It is at Jeremy Com.
So I'm probably gonna buy Undertaker. I'm probably gonna buy the Fiend Ultimate. I already bought the ringside Fiend.
Orange Cassidy, dude. That's what I'm talking about.
And
oh, there's a full back shot. You just tweeted
his
out.
back.
I literally got his tweet notifications on, as well as that. There's this wrestling figure news that I follow on Twitter, so I have their notifications on for the past few days as well, so I don't miss any reveals.
I don't want an Orange Cassidy figure. I need an Orange Cassidy figure.
Oh, here we go.
Yeah.
And if he doesn't do the thumbs up, then what's the point? Like, you know what I mean?
I'm sure they're gonna come. It's gonna come with all. They already said well, I'm stuttering my words. They're gonna have the hands that go in the pockets, apparently.
Oh,
so you
dude,
gotta have a half-ass thumbs up. I mean,
yeah.
I'm just refreshing this guy's Twitter just to wait to see if he puts anything on.
Honestly,
are you gonna get anything from the releases besides Undertaker?
Oh yeah. So hold on, I pulled everything up on my phone. So out of everything that was released, I found 8 things that I won. Big surprise.
8.
Oh.
8. So that there was the Eddie Guerrero, because they're bringing back this Elite Legends series, which they started like when Mattel first started making figures, and they canceled it like 7 series in, or 6, whatever. But they're bringing those back, and there's an Eddie Guerrero SummerSlam 2005 like look, and like I think the second series that's gonna come out. So they revealed that was already revealed Mania weekend, but they put like the inbox pictures of it out today. So even though that's not technically a new reveal, that's on the list. The Undertaker, obviously, that goes without saying. I actually mentioned this on my podcast last week, so I was doing predictions of what I want to see, and it was the Edge hardcore match, WrestleMania 22, and that actually came to fruition, so that was pretty cool. I don't collect the Ultimate Edition figures, but I need this Edge, this Rumble 2020 Edge.
Mm-hmm.
Or with that head?
With that freaky looking head. I don't know what that's. There's an Edge figure from like 2000, like when Jax first started making the figures, that has that wacky looking hair. So it kind of reminds me of that.
Justin, you gonna get this Ultimate Warrior one from the night after WrestleMania 30?
I'm gonna get that Hollywood Hulk Hogan one, dude, and get the NWO belt playing the guitar.
I don't even know where that is.
That's gonna be fun.
Where is that one? I'm scrolling on thing.
There's also a Diamond Dallas Page from, looks like WrestleMania. It's basically a WrestleMania 18, like 2002 DDP. So just for the fact that big 2002 guy, big fan of that, I kind of want to get that DDP. Man, this guy's really teasing us with these Orange Cassidy pictures.
What else? I feel like you haven't said 8.
Oh yeah. Let me pull out the picture. I was looking at the Orange Cassidy pictures. They're doing a fan takeover Elite series, so there's a new Adam Cole coming out. Looks pretty cool. Might get that. There's Kushida's getting his first figure. It's an Elite.
Another Adam Cole. They already put like 2 Adam Coles out, haven't they?
Yeah. Kushida's getting his first figure. It's pretty sweet, so I got to get that. And it's an Elite. If it was a basic, I'd skip it, but it's an Elite. And then I don't know if I'm actually gonna get this, but this Angel Garza Elite looks pretty cool. I'll be honest, I've only ever watched like 5 Angel Garza matches because I barely watched WWE within the past year. But it looks pretty cool, so I might pick it up. But those are the 8.
I might get that. What's it called? Wow, I just blanked. I might have to get that Edge WrestleMania 22 now. Now you talk about it.
It's they put out a Mick Foley like WrestleMania 22, like it was in like this year's WrestleMania Elite series or whatever. So I was like, oh, they got to make an Edge so you can have like the pair, and then they did. I was like, oh, perfect.
The spear, get some fake fire flames.
I'm sure they sell all kinds of accessory packs and shit on Ringside Collectibles. I don't know if they got flames on there, but you could definitely get a good chunk of hardcore match, like weapons on there. You could recreate the whole scene, have a little display if you wanted to. Man, this guy's put up like every picture of this Orange Cassidy figure besides just a straight on front picture.
What do you think of these AEW figures?
Oh, I love them. I just got the Chris Jericho bubbly in.
Yeah, I'm jealous because stupid Ringside Collectibles, I asked them to take out the Okada, because I had Okada and Chris Jericho like pre-ordered. I asked them to take out Okada, and they repaid me for the Okada. But like, I don't know why I don't have my Jericho, even like a shipping like thing yet, because I'm pretty sure I pre-ordered it like months ago, like in May. So I'm like,
I hope they didn't cancel your whole order by accident.
well, no, because they only gave me the amount for the Okada.
Right,
So I was like, that's weird. So I think that they just like, you know what, you're on the back of the line. So I've got a little
honestly
bit of heat.
Is a possibility because I know there was back orders on like pretty much all the AEW stuff, unfortunately.
Yep.
But I got the shipping email like Friday night, and I was like, I didn't order anything from Ringside, but I did. I just ordered all the AEW stuff I ordered back in February, so I was like, oh, this stuff's finally starting to ship. And I saw some people because they're not supposed to come out in stores till August 3rd, but I saw some people were finding the like toy ring already in their Walmarts, so I was like, I might have to hit a couple of Walmarts a little early. Just I don't know, do I need a toy ring? No, but I just want to,
well,
I'll just
keep
it in pack. Oh yeah, which I don't know what I'm
okay.
gonna do with that because I really don't have any room in my office for it. But I just wanted the Kenny Omega, so I might keep the ring in box for now, or I might build it and just leave it on my floor. Take some cool pictures with it. I have no idea.
Well, you're gonna be the kicker for this AEW, like the full size ring, because if you say that like it's amazing, then I might have to buy it.
Oh, I'm sure it's gonna be awesome. They updated it too from the original pictures. Like they updated with all the TNT logos and stuff. So I'm like, oh, this thing's looking even better than it originally was.
Yeah, dude, that'd be sweet for pictures. Like I want to, like I used to do like stop motion back in the day.
That's how it's gonna start, dude. You're gonna buy it, and then you're gonna make me want to buy it.
Yeah.
See, I said I'm no AEW figures. I'm out.
None at all. Not even like picking and choose.
See, I say this, and then I'm gonna go to Walmart and see them. I'm like, oh, maybe I'll just buy them.
That's gonna start.
Yeah,
that's gonna start.
I want to get the Bucks, and like I want to get the ones that you like that don't already have like figures. Like Cody has like 1 million figures, so it's like
yeah. That's why like getting the Jericho was cool, and like seeing the AEW logo was cool. But like it's not gonna feel real until like it's a Matt Jackson, Nick Jackson. Like it's not gonna be as cool when you get like WWE guys necessarily, but like when guys who have never had action figures or at least legit action figures come in the mail, that's when it's gonna be like, yeah, this is pretty sick. It's gonna be cool finding them in stores too, because like there hasn't been like anything other than WWE in stores since probably 2011, 2012 when TNA had some figures. But like pretty soon it's gonna be WWE, AEW, and then even UFC's making new action figures, so they'll probably be right there with them, like right all three lined up next to each other, all at Walmart.
I want to live in a world where I can walk into Walmart and I can see a Young Bucks 2-pack, a Kenny Omega figure, a Colt Cabana figure, like a Chuck Taylor figure.
That's what I'm looking forward to. Some of those, like a lot of those, like not I don't want to say mid card guys, but like obviously like
indie guys.
Yeah, like just a lot of those guys. Like it's like seeing a Joey Janela figure is gonna be like, what? Like he's got like a figure toy company, like figure that they announced like 3 years ago. It still isn't out yet because that company sucks. But yeah, it's gonna be sick. I'm super excited for the AEW figures. I'm gonna try to be a completist, but God knows if I'm gonna if they put out one figure that I don't like, I'm gonna be like, yeah, you know what? I just that goes down the drain. But we'll see. I don't know where I'm gonna put them because I'm running out of room in my D12 cabinet, but we'll find out.
So kind of like wrapping up like the recording here. I got a question that I kind of want to get everyone's like opinion on. Like, do you think that the resurgence of like I guess the rarity and the price of wrestling figures has gone up since the Ryder and Hawkins podcast became a thing?
Absolutely. I think that they're like a big what am I trying to say? Big point to like point the finger at or blame, whatever you want to say, for like figures going up in price and like just being more popular. Because like realistically, like I'm seeing way more people collecting like wrestling action figures and more hype around figures like now than I was like even just 2 years ago or something. And I was collecting 2 years ago, like not as heavy as I am now, because I took like a few years off where I wasn't really buying that much. I bought like one figure a year, which God my wallet remembers those days. But yeah, I definitely think they're, because I see people on Twitter all the time like they saying they got back into collecting or they bought an action figure because they listened to the podcast. It's just like you see it every day. It's just like I think they're definitely a big figure to point or whatever for like just figures in general being more popular and going up in value and this, that, and the other.
Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to like find all my Zack Ryder stuff just to, you never know if it's gonna go up in value. Today, I walked into like a
Gotta
Five
get
Below.
get that 3-headed edge, dude.
I walked into a Five Below and they had 1 million like retro Zack Ryder figures, and I was like, oh, I gotta buy one. Like,
specifically because of that podcast, I could tell you that those old school ECW figures, like the original ECW figures, have gone up in value just because of that podcast.
Oh, I know. I remember I like used to look at those back in 2012, and they were like a joke, like $5-10.
On card, like they could be inbox, like perfect condition, like never touched, whatever. And they used to be so cheap, and now because they talked about them plenty on the podcast and stuff like that, like the cheapest you're gonna find an on card one now is like $30, and like some of them they're like worth way more than that because of it.
I remember I was gonna meet Lance Storm, and I was gonna get like an EC. I was gonna let me see if he if he has any figures. And I saw the ECW one for $5. I'm like, is there even a point of me buying this figure to get signed? Like that. It was so cheap.
I've slowly but surely been trying to put that collection together. I have like 7 loose ones that I found out back at flea market. So I've just been like buying those, doing like cleaning them off because they've just been sitting there, and like I don't buy them if they're like that beat up. And then I don't even know where I got it. I think my uncle gave it to me back in like 2011, 2012 because he had it and didn't want it anymore. But I got an RVD that's still in the packaging, like Series 1 or whatever it was. So I got that, which is pretty cool. But even that's like probably that I could probably get, like if I was selling it, probably like a good $30. Like I think there's ones that have like other RVD ones that are probably worth more, but like yeah, that all those old ECW figures like definitely like went up in value. Even like the old Jack Specific figures, like all those I think definitely went up in value too.
They're gonna make a Fig Fed. They're making a Fig Fed with Bone Crushers. Are all those going to go up now?
Oh, absolutely. Is that what they're doing? I see they keep teasing some draft for like tomorrow that they're doing on their YouTube channel.
They're doing that with Bone Crunchers only.
Oh, it's gonna be great. I'll listen. Don't let them start talking about Pops on that podcast because then I think they bring it up every now and then probably, but like, God forbid they ever start talking about Pops in depth on that podcast, and prices are going to go up even more than they already do.
Oh man, like a generic like WWE one that's just always there. Like
Batista's worth like $7. I'm gonna go on the Funko app right now and see what Batista's worth. Batista.
I need the Batista.
Wow,
you know what I found?
Literally $7. I was right on the head.
You know what I found? Do you remember the Walgreens exclusive? Like they had Shawn Michaels and Kane a couple of years ago.
Yeah, they just randomly put out those two of all people.
Yeah, and so those were like some of the first 2 wrestling ones that I ever got, and I found a Shawn Michaels one still in one of the Walgreens, and I was like, this thing has been sitting here for like 2, maybe 3 years. Yeah. It's crazy.
There's they haven't said anything about any WWE pops, but the last rumor floating around that I heard was that there might be a Mr. T WWE pop coming out, which I don't know why there's so much Mr. T stuff coming out. He's got like 2 elites. He's got a Masters of the Universe figure that you guys might have saw in the reveals, like the WWE Masters of the Universe crossovers that they're doing. And then there's apparently might be a pop coming out. I'm like, is there like something I'm missing with all this Mr. T stuff? Like, is there like an anniversary?
And they're just like, oh, we're gonna release everything from him.
Trying to milk
there was like 3 pops that are rumored to come out. It's like Mr. T, Rock, and Macho Man. I'm like, all right, well, those other 2 already got a few pops, and then I have no interest in a Mr. T one. So it looks like I'm skipping this next WWE series. Maybe, I don't know. We'll see.
I don't know, but all right, well, that's it. Everybody go check out Noah's channel. Justin, put the link in the description. We don't do that enough. We don't put links in the description enough.
I just download and upload, dude. This will be uploaded 5 minutes after we just recorded this.
That's true. All right, well,
Make sure I share it on everything.
Yep.
Yes.
Let's get as many people watching.
Thanks for coming on. I'm glad that we got to figure this out. And definitely, like, I mean, I feel like once a month we could do like a figure podcast and just like talk about figures for an hour. Like,
I'm definitely down. Sorry it took so long to get on here. Ever since I went back to work in like the middle of June, it's just been like, I'm not like busy, but like I'll work and then I just come home and I just sit in my office, and then, or if I've like my girlfriend went on vacation for a week, so I was just sitting on my couch hanging with my dog for a week. So it's just like one thing after another. It seemed like the past month, but I'm glad I finally got to come on here because that's all I talk about online and make videos about anyway is figures. So definitely wanted to come on here and talk about them.
For sure. But
fine. We're bored.
Yeah. We got to get new topics. So this is good that we can just, talk about like something different other than just like what we bought. So.
No, I'm down to come on and talk anything wrestling figures or not wrestling figures related.
Well, that's it for this podcast, and I'll talk to you in the next one.
Yeah.